Hello, this is Whitney with Dark Portents. This is my first booktube video. So today I'm responding to a Converse tag about books that were formative to me in my teenage years. And I'll go a little bit further back to when I was a younger child at 5. My brother read The Hobbit to me for the first time. And after he read it to me, I did go on to reread it. And I actually listened to it on cassette as well. So it's like an audiobook on cassette. Still have those, don't have a cassette player. They actually were my brother's, but he left them with me. So after that, he read me The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe and Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass. And those were really formative to me to get me into fantasy. And in high school, I went on to read the Dark Elf trilogy, the Icewind Dale trilogy, and I did read some beyond that. I really loved those at the time, and Wolfgar's character did get some really awesome character development going. Those are not my favorite fantasy now, but I do think they played a role in shaping what I do appreciate and like about fantasy. So other things that really pulled me in high school were Shakespeare. I really liked Macbeth, and I really liked Hamlet. I thought they were absolutely beautiful and brilliant tragedies, and I really loved The Crucible. But it also broke my heart, and that was very formative because it was, their justice system was just letting people, the injustice system, I should really say, pulling women out and allowing them to be burned because people said they were witches. And that's also shaped my views of the world now and how our justice system sometimes still fails people. It's, it's evolved, it's gotten better. Nobody's going to pull somebody out of a house and, say they're a witch, and that's not just going to fly as the reason, though there might be other unjust reasons. So other books I read, I did read the Communist Manifesto when I was 14. That was inspired by my brother. And I did read some Plato and some Socrates. So those were probably some of the hugest inspirations of my entire life. But I didn't read many of those until college. So it was just like, barely diving into baby Plato and baby Socrates. And I didn't really even understand Socratic questioning at the time. Other books that really shaped my life and still do, in high school, we did a book club, so I did read some in that, and I read books like Fahrenheit 451 and Animal Farm, and those are kind of like cookie cutter books that everybody reads, and then everybody talks about them, and I feel like they get oversighted sometimes for situations of injustice. Everybody's like, well, it's Fahrenheit 451. So those are a bit overused for me now, but at the time I really loved Fahrenheit 451, and I thought it was just like, I don't know, I read that book multiple times. It kept daunting me, the idea of these books. And then I went on to read The Plague by Albert Camus, and boy, did I not know how that would end up shaping my life living through 2020 and 2021 now with the coronavirus epidemic. I think of some of the passages where it's talking about like the rats and stuff, and I'm glad we don't have that issue, but also, it's interesting how that has came to play a big part of my life. And also I read this book called The Breakfast of Champions by Kurt Vonnegut, and it's one of my favorite books ever. It's so brilliant. Kurt Vonnegut is a brilliant writer, and I also read Kafka. I read the Metamorphosis in high school for the first time. I didn't really, as a high schooler, I didn't appreciate it as much as I did when I read it again as an adult. I did like it though, and I was like, there's something to this. And so I went on my senior year, I read The Hunger Artist, and I've read lots of other Kafka since then. So, and I actually just started another short story by Kafka recently, so those have clearly shaped my worldview. Just the brilliance, and some of his writings, it's like, I don't know, it's like, why is this being written? And it's like, maybe the point is there isn't a point, and it's just like, but then it's like, it falls into this like, woo, I don't know, kind of reminds me of Nietzsche, but, so, that's really, I guess, all I have to say about books that really played formative roles. Of course, I did also read Greek mythology. I took a Greek mythology class in high school, and that played a big role in like fantasy and myth and, those ideas. And also even watching movies now and being like, oh, they took that from this, and this, whatever, you know, I don't know. So those are definitely some of the things that played big roles in who I am today as a reader and as a person. So that's all I really have to say. I know I kind of, you know, went back and forth a little bit and said too many times, but it's my first go.